Now you rocking that Angela Davis thing. I know you. Do you know who Angela Davis is?
Yes, I
That's
do.
Dr. Angela Davis. She has a PhD. She's notorious. You have some very long hair, but we're not here talking about yourself. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. You know, we got some good news and some bad news.
Well, how about let's just start. I'm fixing it. Tell the people's, hey, KQ. Hey, folks, I
Hey,
gotta say this about KQ. KQ is the one that I mean, like, I gotta say this is that I'm very proud of her, and the reason why I'm proud of her is because of her abilities and what she's able to do. And one of the things that I think one of my blessings is that I'm able to learn from anyone. For me, life has been a continuum of metamorphosis, a continuum of learning and changing for the better. And I would wish for all of you out there in podcast land to do the same thing. Metamorphosize, learn, embrace change. In the Bible, it says that even out of the mouth of babe wisdom come. So I think the instruction in that, and then KQ, it might not be the Bible to say it, that could have been somewhere I heard it, but I found that to be true. That if you always listen and have an open mind, that you can always learn from somebody. You can recognize when a person you listen to a wise person or a fool. And fools can be young, old, any age. Anybody can be foolish. And so I like to think that I've always learned and I've embraced things. I want to talk to you guys about some things. I see what Elon Musk uh, banded Kanye, and I don't think he should have. Again, I'm on the side of free speech. I think that if Kanye has a feeling and he thinks that the Jews or whatever his opinion about Jewish people, I think that's his opinion, and he have a right to voice that. I think when people control you with money, they control you with. If you're the kind of person that you're gonna be controlled by money, you'll never be free. You'll never be able to say or do what you want to do. The topic of this show is KQ. You got to help me with that a little bit. What's the topic of today's show?
the
Yeah.
topic of today's show is basically we need great ideas. Like, I mean, we want to hear from the people as well because sometimes, you know, we don't really know. We just be grabbing stuff to talk about. We also want to hear
So,
what y'all got to say.
and you're right, and thank you for that, KQ. And I like to say this, people, is that what is it that we're going to talk about? What is it? If you have a question, to whom is it that you're asking the question, and what is the question that you're going to ask? I'm a black man, and only a black man will understand how I feel. Only a black man will know what I go through and what I've been through. Only a black man will know that. And here's black people that fool themselves. Now you have black people that get in wherever they can fit in, and you have black people that I'm a strong male. I'm a strong male, and as you see, I'm a strong black male. Now, I said that both ways because we have strong males in other communities. I'm a strong male, but with it comes a lot of burden, a lot of curse. The black man is cursed. We have so many things that we have to contend with. There's so many things. Everything in society is set up against us. I know some of you out there listening at this might not believe it or either don't want to hear what I have to say. But everything in society is set up against the black man. Even the black woman does not understand the black male. The black male has a burden. He has everybody against him. The black female, because of this thing coming back from slavery time. I hear Tube saying, bro, please don't go back in slavery time. I hear other folks saying, look, man, don't talk about slavery, but you got to tie up your history. The purpose of our history or the past is for us to learn from it so that we don't repeat the same mistakes that we made in the past. So we take things that happened yesterday, we look at it today, and we manipulate it. Meaning that based on what happened to us, or what we learned, or what we experienced, whether it's good or bad, we take that today and we manipulate it. So if we put our hand in a fire and we burnt our hand, then we don't want to do that again. So that's what I mean by learning from history, and we manipulate the outcome. Well, maybe we'll cover it, put that instead of having that fire outside, then we'll put it inside of a stove. In other words, let's do something today to create a desired outcome for tomorrow. So I always plan. Sometimes people get mad at me because of my intelligence, and I'm envied because of that. Not just outside of our community, but mostly in our community. It's hard in the black community. It's hard in the black family, but it's definitely hard for the black male. If a black male is an alcoholic, I think he deserves that drink. If he's shooting up, if he's, you don't know his story, you don't know what he's been through, but we have something that all of us share, and it's a part of every black man collective consciousness if he's in the United States of America. For one thing, we're suspect of doing something wrong, being shifted, lazy, not being that smart, not being intelligent. We only thing we're gonna do is make babies and leave them, but that's not the idea of the black male. I'm a strong male. Take black out of it. I'm educated. I'm a father. I'm a grandfather, and I'm an uncle. I mean, but mostly I try to make myself a leader in the community. Now, when I say the community, it's wherever I am, wherever I go, I let my light shine, and I want to put my best foot forward. And I think all of us want to do that. And the black female is, poor thing, she's not that she's naive. It's just that since she don't see our burden, she don't see our pain, she don't know our story, she don't know that we're gonna be singled out, we're gonna be ignored as if have a I want to know, I want y'all to tell me. I'm fixing to put up there. I want you guys to see that Reaching Out with Eddie every Thursday at 7 p.m. on YouTube. Town Talk, State, National Talk, co-host and media engineer KQ. The number to call is 205-259-8941 to get in on the conversation. And I want you to get in on the conversation. I want you to call in. We'll answer your phone call. I want you to text us. I want you to leave your comments and we'll respond. We have a web page. We're on Facebook. And I'll let KQ tell you about all that because she's the one set up on all that stuff. And I like for you, I like for you to be open-minded, be respectful. And while I'm coming back in now, I think that I want to talk on this thing about black male again, because I don't think you understand black female. The things, the burden that we have to carry. We have so much. Do you know that if we got to fight you at home, we got to fight in the world every day. But you don't understand that and you don't see that. And sometimes you see that. And instead of you saying, wow, that man is standing up for his rights, you look at it, they'll go to troublemaker. Oh man, won't he just shut up? Won't he just be quiet? Um, I can remember black people saying that about me, but I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I want to talk about a couple of things, and after I talk about a couple of things, I'm gonna let KQ come in and just talk about some things that she's interested in. I want to say this, and keeping on with my subject, is that as most of you know, I'm in the process of relocating to Alabama. Now, when I relocate to Alabama, I will stop voting in Mississippi. And while I will donate to certain campaigns of somebody that I want to support, I won't be down there trying to run for office or anything. That's a part of my past life now. I like to say this is that sometime I had a privilege to talk to a young person that is so smart and so spot on. It's almost amazing to hear them speak and talk about the things. And I just, one thing that I do like, and his name is Hakeem Jeffries. He's going to be the new Speaker of the House when Nancy Pelosi has already stepped down and she's 82. And the person that took over for her, his name is Steny Hoyer, and he's 83. And he said it right. He says, time to let young people take over. This is a white man and a white woman saying this. How is it that we have to have white folks to tell us what we need to do? Why is it that why can't we make these decisions for ourselves and do these things for ourselves and step down and let people like KQ? KQ is only 19 years old. And how about Hakeem Jeffries is 52. And he only been in politics, he hadn't even been in politics 10 years yet. But Kevin McCarthy, who's going to take over as this Speaker of the House, the person that's going to take over the Speaker of the House is a black person that's going to be over the Senate. Over the House. He's going to be the House Minority Leader. And I'm pointing all this out to you folks, is that this is a young black man, and he's 52 years old, and he's stepping up to the plate, doing things that he should be doing. It's time for, I'll be 70 my birthday. I don't have any reasons or any business should be running for politics. This is the retirement age. According to Social Security, you can retire at 62. So if we're still in office and we're in our 60s and we're in our 70s, there's no way that we should be doing this. And we're making decisions for people that are a lot younger than I am. KQ, I want you to come in here. And the reason why I want you to come in is because you're young. Folks, look at KQ. KQ is only 19 years old, and listen at how she speaks. Look at the things she know. What if she didn't meet someone like me? What if she never had the opportunity to let her light shine? What about when I die? What about when all of you out there in political power, in position of power and authority, and you in your 60s and you in your 70s, and here you is standing making decisions for people that like you, KQ? What is it that you have to say about that?
What I have to say about that is basically the same thing you said. I feel like they should just let younger people like myself, make decisions for us because we know what we want. They think they know what we want, but they actually don't. I mean, this isn't their generation. This isn't, this is a whole new different generation. We want better things. We want all this crime to stop. We wanna, we wanna be able to go places and socialize without worrying about, getting killed or getting shot at and stuff like that. Like we just shit, I just want peace. I don't know about other people, but I just want peace in the world.
And
It's just
also another thing you have to contend with is being harassed by people in position of
right,
authority, such as police officers pulling young people can't go anywhere. They're
right.
single out. And here's what we're messing up, folks, is that we have not realized that these are our this is our root right here that you're looking at and I'm looking at. They're the root. People in their 20s, in their 30s, they're the root. They're the ones that's going to take over for us when we're not here. Why is it that we are not preparing our children? I know what some of you are saying out there. Hey, I already got my son a job. I already got my girl. No, 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 no. All of them are our children. And all we got to do is look around at other races and see how they're doing things. If you don't know what to do, then what you should do know is know what not to do. KQ, what is it that you want to talk to the people about today?
Okay, do y'all want the good news or the bad news first?
How about you do either one you want to do? All right. Okay.
Okay.
Got the floor.
Okay. As you all may know, if you're on social media, rapper Gunna of YSL, he's associated with Young Thug. He's been released from prison today after pleading guilty to RICO charges. People are saying that he made a statement to be free, to get to, he made a statement and this and that, but him and his lawyer are stating that he did not make a statement and also he would not have to testify. And also hours after Gunna was released, Young Thug, the CEO of YSL Records, was back in the courtroom to start trial. They didn't say when, but I mean, obviously he's about to go on trial, but it will take some time because it's more than 25 defendants. So, Gray, I want your opinion on it. What you think about it? Because I mean, I don't really know. I don't I don't even know
I
what.
think that anytime a person is faced with loss of life, loss of freedom, anytime you lose your freedom, you're losing your life. You're losing your right to pursue happiness and to live life anytime you lose your freedom. And so I think that a lot of the rappers are singled out. I think that they're singled out because they're making money. It's making millionaires out of young folks such as yourself. And oftentimes they don't know what to do with that money. And when they don't know what to do, here's the thing that I could do to you if you were a millionaire, KQ. What I could do if you was a rapper, it's easy for me to set you up because the laws are so vague. They're set up in such a way that you could just about arrest somebody for anything and you could indict a bologna sandwich. So what I would do is I'll arrest you for something and I'll charge you with something and I'll make you spend your money because see, we don't own the bonding company. When I say we, I'm talking about black people. Black people don't own the bonding company. Most black people are not lawyers. Johnny Cochran been dead. And so if a person like the rapper that you're talking about get arrested, any money that he spend, all that money goes to the system, the very system that's oppressing, this very system that's not doing anything. It basically they're still taking the fruits of our labor and they're using it to benefit themselves.
And Also, speaking on rappers that are in jail, YNW Melly recently put out a statement on Instagram saying that he is officially in fear of his life. If you don't know who YNW Melly is, YNW Melly is a rapper that is charged with the murder of his two friends, Sack and Juvie. Now, I don't condone what he did, but I don't condone people being treated unfairly, and I don't condone the law threatening people and using their power to basically take over people. So what he said that a new captain named Herbert and Exo Jenkins have taken over the jail for 2 weeks now and have handed out harsher punishment from even the previous one. He says he has been housed he has been moved and housed on a unit that holds 24 inmates at once. He is the only one being housed on the vacant unit. And when he has his 1 hour out, the other inmates have to go in their cell because the officers feel like he's a threat. And also they've taken his phone privileges because they've taken his phone privileges, his television privileges, and no access to a newspaper. And they're watching his every move to make sure he doesn't use the phone. And one of the deputies, lieutenants, and sergeants, they have threatened him and said they will hide him from the world and threaten to beat his ASS every day. And if he tells his lawyer, they will lie and say that he hit them first. And he said those were words from Sergeant Anthony Kidd and Lieutenant Gene Baptist. Now, Greg, I really want your opinion on this because I didn't even I this that doesn't sit right with me at all. I don't care how big or small the rapper is or whoever it is. I don't they don't need to be treated like that. Why does authorities like the policemen use their power against young black people? That's what I want to know.
They will continue to do the things I said, misuse government procedure.
Baby.
You know what, folks? I guess I gotta say, but she just mesmerized me with that new hairstyle. I was trying to turn her off and turn myself off. But I do want to say this is that it's one of the things that does bother me is that you have people in position of power and authority, and they abuse that power and that authority, and they do it all the time. But you have the black leaders that get together, but who are they leading? They ain't leading nothing but a camera crew. They ain't leading nothing but a newspaper. Who are they leading? They're not leading us. If you're really concerned about the plights of the black community, then get out there and do it. Don't just go because there's cameras there. Go when there's not any cameras, because there's a lot of black people that are suffering. There's a lot of people that, mostly us, that are wrongly in jail. Now, hold up. Now, I know what y'all getting ready to say. Y'all getting ready to say, I'm a racist. Y'all getting ready to say, I'll go Gray Holt again, talking about black folks. Let me tell you something. One thing I got to do is I got to clean up my house before I clean up anybody else's house. So how about we fix the black community before we start trying to fix any other community, trying to make sure that Mexicans are okay, make sure the Asians are okay, the Africans are okay, when white folks are okay, when black folks are not okay. See, the first thing you got to do before you start telling me about my house is dirty, clean up your own house. So before I go outside trying to clean up your house or do anything for you, how about I clean up my house? How about I clean up my neighborhood? How about I make things right for black people first? Now, you can call me a racist or call me whatever. People like Al Sharpton ain't shit. People like Jesse Jackson ain't shit. NAACP ain't shit. SCLC ain't shit. Now, but the American Civil Liberties Union, the Southern Poverty Law Center, those are some viable organizations that are created by white folks for white folks is really making a difference in America. If you don't know what to do, Al Sharpton, go and see what Marge Dees is them doing with the Southern Poverty Law Center. Go and see what the American Civil Liberties is doing. Why they can't, there's so much wrongdoing going on in this country by people that are in a position of power and authority, abusing that authority under color state law. It's so much going on. These people have to take a case by case. But Reverend Al Sharpton don't care. It's worse things going on down there in Fort Lauderdale. We talking about Broward County. That's what KQ is talking about. Broward County, a sheriff department. Talking about Fort Lauderdale because he's still in that county because he has not been found guilty yet. It's not right. Jay-Z, where your ass at now? But when all this stuff was going on in Mississippi and all this, you're a billionaire. What is it to go down there and sing your same crew to Fort Lauderdale and see what's not only going on with YMW Melly, but everybody else is in that jail? If they're doing it to him, as famous as he is and as much money as he has, well, imagine what they do with a person like me or somebody a whole lot lesser than me. So that's what KQ is pointing out. She's pointing out these things and to make for her to be as young as she is, for her to know what's going on. See, she knows what's going on. They're not getting any attention. So we want to bring this to your attention. How is it that I can man, I tell you, I can talk about things and I can say things about things but we just really just gotta stop fighting each other, and we gotta do more for each other. We gotta find a way of coming together collectively, not because everybody looking. They listen to Al Sharpton. He's a very elegant spokesperson, just like Jesse Jackson or anybody else in those token organizations. They speak very well. They speak very impressive, but they ain't talking about doing shit for me and you and nobody else in the community that really need it. Al Sharpton should never leave the state of Mississippi or the state of Alabama dripping with racism and discrimination and all this stuff that's going on, all that by other black folk. So we gotta, KQ gotta take control of her destiny because you done fucked it up. You ain't doing nothing for the black community. You ain't doing nothing for her group. This is the fruit. We supposed to be watering the flower. Instead, how can you take a plant, a tree, or flower, or anything and take it and just pull it up out the ground and cut the roots off and stick it back in the ground and expect it to do? Can't do nothing but wither up and die. It can't grow. I know y'all know I'm keeping it 100. I'm talking real shit, but I hope these seeds that I plant to reach the right person and start making a difference. And Q, is there anything else you want to talk about? I get passionate, you know.
You basically took the words out of my mouth. I mean, we gotta stop fighting each other. We gotta stop introducing these young black men to guns at early ages. I mean, 12 and 13 and 10. Come on now, they shouldn't be walking around here with guns in their hands and this and that. And we need to stop fighting each other because we just teaching our kids and the kids after that fighting each other is okay and stuff like that. Like y'all need to just.
So why do you think that we can't come together collectively? Why can't we do things collectively? And I gotta talk about marijuana. Reason why I gotta talk about marijuana is this stuff they call loud, you know. I'm pro-choice, folks. I understand that. I think people should. Do you think that this type of marijuana that they put in the black community, you think that sedate us too much? You think that marijuana and other drugs are used in the black community as a way of creating crime in the black community, creating violence in the black community, create non-compliance in the black community, create chaos in the black community? Another thing it does, it makes us complacent. It makes us just want to just lay there, feel good, and laugh and eat, drink, and be merry. That's epicureanism. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we may die. And how about what about people my age that smoke loud and smoke marijuana? They already got it. So what about the people that are my age that are judgmental? And when you see me looking up like that, I'm looking up inside of my mind to see all these millions of thoughts that's in my head so that I can convey. So what is it you got to say about that, Q?
What I got to say about that, people being judgmental. I mean, you shouldn't be judging nobody anyway because they live in their own life. You're not living their life, so why you judge? If you want to judge somebody, then you should just sit at home and just watch TV all day and judge them on the TV. Because honestly, I mean, you won't get nowhere judging nobody. It's just you state your opinion and nobody cares about it. But I feel like Loud has been placed in the black community to stop people from basically doing what they need to do. As for example, getting their education, getting a job, doing better for their family. I mean, you can't do that if you sitting in the bed all day. If you over there high all day. I mean, you can't do nothing. That's why it's so many people in the black community not doing well, because all they want to do is get high, have party, drink, stuff like that. So I
So
mean,
how do we get away from that? How do we take these young bright minds and mold them into a different perspective? If we think you think it has a lot to do with the self-fulfilling prophecy, meaning that we think you ain't nothing, so you just don't try to prove us wrong. We think that you ain't gonna do nothing but just lay around and get high all the time, so you
mhm,
just don't. Young people just don't try to do anything to prove us wrong.
right?
You think
They,
that's
they,
it?
just- they don't. Once they hear that all their life, they not gonna want to do nothing. But somebody has to be the odd one out the norm and do something.
So when you did not vote and you vote now, Q, what is it? What when you did not vote? What was your reasoning for not voting?
Well, I didn't vote because, like I said, they don't care. Like
And
they don't care. They don't care if a young person vote because not many young people vote, so they're not gonna care what the young people have to say. If a lot more young people like me vote, then they would care what we have to say. They will put young people in charge, so we won't be controlled by people that's in their 80s that need to be in retired.
nursing home,
Yeah,
you better not put me in war.
I'm not gonna don't. I ain't gonna do
I was just being facetious, and another, and that is the thing too, and another thing is that it takes somebody like me that know to trust somebody like you to give you the opportunity and show you. Sometimes we don't see people because of the smoke in the room is so thick that young people don't see. They don't see it, and you see them, and you know what they're not doing. When I say you, I'm talking about us, me and my peers. We're not doing everything we need to do so that you can become enlightened, so that you can become aware, so that you can know. And so somebody has to tell our story. We got to know. We got to.
And I feel like it would take a young person to tell the young people to motivate them. Somebody that's not in a family, somebody that they don't know. And it takes a lot to it takes a lot to motivate young people, but I feel like an old person shouldn't be trying to motivate no young person, because what you telling us, this not your time. This is a whole different generation, and I'm not gonna do it because honestly they don't. Young people just don't care. It takes they rather sit up there and listen to these so-called celebrities and idols than listen to somebody in their own community.
Yeah. Another thing too, I think is the problem is that you have a lot of leaders that are meeting with folks, and then you have people that are popular in their hometown, and
Right.
they want to bring them to your hometown, and you don't care nothing about that person. So if this person saw crime in Chicago, Illinois, but it's going to take a collective body. It's not going to be just one person. But when you have a lot of old folk, you have a lot of my peers getting together, from the different aspect of the so-called bougie community, your ministers, your political leaders, and your social leaders get together, your educational leaders get together, and they going to come together. And these great minds that's going to get together, and they going to come and tell each other what needs to be done so that you and your peers can be better. But you and your peers ain't heard none of them say anything. And now one of them reached out to you, and now one of
Exactly.
them tried to help you in no kind of way. Only thing they did is say, hey, guilty in jail. Okay. Put that deadbeat in jail. Don't get that deadbeat a job. Kick that deadbeat out of school. And
And
these are the kind of things. And when you have a failing system in place, like in Meridian, Mississippi,
mhm,
that's if a school system is not making seeds, and you have administrators that need to take their ass home. Simple as that. But when you got a school system that year after year, F minus D, wow, man, what the hell is going on? This is chaos that's being created in our community by the educational, by not educating, you and your peers, or me and my peers. We're not being educated, and that's what's sad, and it's really, really bad. It's it's bad in the black community. It's really, really bad, especially most even up here in Jefferson County. A lot of the school systems are failing, and what they want to show, and the picture does suggest that, the numbers suggest that when we come into a community, when we take over community, that we had a tendency, the quality of the life goes down, the educational system goes down. A school that maybe used to be a C become an F or a D. We got, and we got to take serious. Can't do like I did when I went into the military. Me and my boy, we were seeing who can get through the fastest. We didn't care nothing about. We didn't read nothing, man. And we were laughing. Oh man, I beat you through. And guess what? Guess what, KQ?
What?
I end up in the infantry. With the other one ended up in as a tanker. We had an artillery, tank, and infantry. Them the lowest things in the military. The first ones out there, the first one killed. You know, they gonna be blowing up the artillery. The infantry, the first one go in there. Oh yeah, we outsmarted ourselves, all right. So you have to do good in life if you want. You have to do good in school if you're gonna do good in life.
And I always say this: it starts at home.
And it does.
It starts at home.
Yeah. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is I wanted to talk about what happened with me, folks. When I moved, I had a situation where I had to deal with a postmaster. I'm cleaning up my property that you've seen, the house, the mansion. Some of you said I have. That house burnt down in 2018. My trailer burnt down in 2018 also. So here you have a person that went all the way from being worth close to $1 million. I don't mind telling you, and that's money and assets, and all within the strike of a match. I lost it all, you know. So you got to kind of like be prepared and be aware of how you treat people, what's going on with your life. You can be up today and down tomorrow. And folks, I was down. Boy, was I down. I had a vehicle, and I lost everything. I kept jewelry, money, TVs, everything, all my keepsakes, everything. It was an investment property, a house worth $500,000, and I didn't have any insurance on it. Dan Tubbs is dead. I had just made a deal with him to sell the property in Mississippi for I was gonna sell it to him, I think, for about $80,000, and he was gonna pay me $5,000 down. And but before he could come and close out on me, somebody went in there, folks. And I'm gonna tell you what I think now. Now I think it was Percy Bland had a lot to do with it. I'm just telling you the truth because at that particular time I was antagonizing him. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Sue me, Percy. You son of a. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna disrespect your mom. But I think Percy had a lot to do with it. The reason why I say that because he put all the king men's and all the king horses on me. He had me falsely arrested and all that kind of stuff, folks. And I just got all that stuff off me. All that time he was in office, guess what? It's gone and his ass is gone. See, eventually right will prevail. But I want to say this is that I lost everything. I lost everything. I ended up selling the property to Massey. Me and Massey made a deal running Massey on Mass Auto. I ended up selling it to him. Sold it to him, and I said, "You clean it off." And so I basically gave it to him. And the property in Alabama, I just walked away from it. And so things, eventually God had to tell me. Now, some of you gonna say, "Now, Negro, what in the world are you talking about?" Well, you can say karma. You can say Allah. You can say Buddha. You can say Hindu. You can say whatever you want to. Whatever person that you believe in, that person told me, Negro, you ain't dead. In order to destroy me, folks, you're going to destroy my mind. And I wasn't dead. And so I continued to do things and I continue and I made money. Ann Grace and her son gave me the opportunity to build a house. Miss Summerlin out of North Hill Street gave me the opportunity to add remodel her house and add a garage. That's something a lot of you don't know that about me, but I read, draw blueprints. And at the time that I lost everything in 2018, I had just let my license had lapsed by 30 days in Mississippi and in Alabama, in Mississippi 6 months, in Alabama it was 30 days. They had, meaning that I had not renewed it because I had retired. And so I end up Don James. He helped me, and I want to say thank you to Don James because I used his permit to do those things. But folks, I gotta say this is that when I got ready, when my daughter died in 2020, I probably had $2 or $3 in the bank, and so I paid the bill off and everything down. Then I started spending money, and I went and bought the Corvette. I paid cash for it. And folks, I can tell you that I still was dead. My light was gone. Career was that was my light. And I know what you're saying. You heard me say it so many times that when I'm like the leprechaun, you know, the leprechaun in the hood, the leprechaun he had a pot of gold and he lost one coin and he wreaked havoc in the whole community. Y'all seen that movie? Go see it. They got 2 or 3 on, but it was just about one coin. That's how I am about all of my children. I love them, and I lost that one child. And I tell you that my soul was tormented, and it still is. And it's something that I'll never get over and I'll grieve about forever. And only those of you that have lost a child know how I feel. I'm talking about mothers now. I ain't talking about the fathers, the deadbeat dads, or the dads that's uncaring. I miss the mom. See, I've been married more than one time. When the mother left, I kept that family together. I put all of my children, I put my family before me. I'm like that now. Put my family first. And so I lost my daughter, but I said this to say that I went and spent money, and the car mostly stayed in the garage. And my daughter said, Daddy, you going to have to, this is my daughter Tracy. So Dad, I'm about to come get the car and drive it. But my light went out, folks. It did. And it's people that was there for me, and I thank you. But my light went out, folks. And so when it was time for me to come back up here, I started. I want to say this. I don't want to go any further. I don't want y'all to think that I'm saying this to hurt anybody's feelings. I want y'all to understand how I feel. That everything I did, I appreciate everybody that has ever done anything for me or been there for me. I love you and I always appreciate you. I have brothers from another mother that I love like I love the brothers. And I have brothers from the same mother that I don't love as much as I love the brother from another mother. But I said this to say this, and y'all ain't gonna understand this because you're not me. And I gotta say this. Y'all see that heifer drinking that Pepsi? I just said she's not a heifer. But it was this person right here. It was Q. Made my light come on again, folks. And a lot of you ain't gonna understand that, but she know, and my children know, the ones that was around me and seen that. And so now I like to give people their flowers while they're living. I like for them to be know how I feel. So my light came back on. So now I'm getting ready to move back to Alabama. I'm looking for property. People start calling me, asking me, do you want to sell the property? Do you want to sell the property? And so folks, they used to say is that karma, Buddha, Hindu, God, Allah was telling me, Negro, you finna go buy property. You own property already. Go and get it. And that's what I did, folks. So what I'm doing, and how personally, I'm gonna say this to you. You burn my house down or whoever burned it down, is that I'm fixing to rebuild that same house again. And the mistakes I made before I won't make again. I had an alarm system that wasn't I think then I had an alarm system there, but it wasn't connected to ADT. Yeah, it wasn't connected. Not only am I gonna have surveillance system, I have video, audio, I'm gonna have everything. I'm gonna have it tied in with Comcast or Spectrum or Time Warner or whomever it is. I'm gonna protect this property. I'm gonna build it better than before, but I'm gonna have the same facade, same thing. I'm gonna finish the basement and I'm gonna rent it out on Airbnb. I'm gonna create a trust for my family so that my family will always be okay, like the Youngs did for their children. The Young Trust in Mississippi. So I got that idea from them. And so Airbnb is the things going. So it's going to be an investment property and everything is falling in place so that I can go back. I have an RV outside that I'm going to stay in while I'm doing everything. I'm cleaning all the debris off. I never took the debris off, folks. Folks, I just got to tell you that I really paid a high price just to educate you and tell you things. But I told the post lady, and I went off on a tangent. I told the post lady, I said, look, I want you to start back leaving my mail here. And so about a week later, I go by there, I see a card in there. She said, my supervisor told me that I cannot leave mail there because it's vacant. Okay, so I go and talk to the supervisor. I said, I'm getting ready to purchase an RV. This is where I'm going to stay at while I rebuild my house. He said, well, as soon as you get the RV there, then this is a black guy. As soon as you get the RV there, we'll start to live there. I said, well, you instruct your post people now that whenever they see an RV there, start leaving my mail. So eventually I put the RV there. And when I put the RV there, I go back down there again. I want to remind them, hey, RV there now, I want my mail because I already done had tags and stuff like that, sent the titles and things like that, mail sent there. And so this time I don't see a guy, I see a black lady come up. I said, well, I got my RV there. We can't leave the mail at your RV. I said, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, that's not what I was told. She said, well, I don't know. I said, well, lady, let me just tell you what I know. I said, I know that my RV there, and I know that's where I'm gonna be at. I said, now I want my mail delivered. I'm about to. I said, well, let me tell you what. You go talk to your supervisor. I said, now I need you to come back and tell me yes or no. I said, but understand, just as sure as you say no, that I'm going straight to my attorney and I'm gonna have your ass before Jefferson County Court before the week is out. Oh, she came back with old nasty stink attitude. I guess she went and talked to the postmaster, whom I had talked to before, and she said, "Well, as long as your RV is there, we can leave the mail there, but we ain't leaving there if it ain't there." I said, "What you doing, calling me a lie? I told you it was there." Well, if it ain't there, we're not gonna leave it. Um, folks, I'm gonna say this is that if any of my children texting anybody while they on the air, don't respond to them, KQ. Any of my children, don't respond to them, and let me deal with them when we get off air. Okay, because anytime you send a note to me, it's a distraction, and we can't communicate with each other, people. And then what it had a tendency is information that I'm able to tell you it's the wrong time to stop me when I do have internet. But KQ, I'm gonna be asking you about comments. And so you can see, I'm looking at the comments. So I want you to write those comments down and I want you to read those comments, but don't tell me what Mature said because I ain't gonna do nothing but fuss at them. You understand? All right. And folks, I do have children still, and I'm still a parent first. And children have a tendency to be disruptive. And KQ is a stepmom, and so she don't want the children to be mad at her, so she's gonna tell me what they say. But you tell them what I just said, KQ. If they text again, they in trouble and they on punishment all weekend. Okay, but anyway, I appreciate y'all sending those comments. Again, I'm gonna put it up where you guys can y'all can where y'all can oh boy. Oh yeah, folks, I'm still learning this thing. KQ ain't told me all of it. I done put the chat up there and got it, and I want to put this up there so you can see it. Where you can call in 205-259-8941. And we're gonna read your comments. I'm gonna let you KQ gonna come in a minute, read the comment. But I gotta tell you, folks, at the event, she said, well, you have a nice day. And I said it just as nasty. I said, you have one too. But my point is, folks, that there's always other black people that mess with us. You give black folks just a little bit of thought, baby. Sometimes they just, folks, and I didn't mean to say that. Folks, sometimes you give black people just a little bit of thought, man, and they use that to hurt other black people. So we still got these house Negroes that we got to deal with. You can't give some black folks a job. Let me tell you about the bank. I had money in the bank, folks. I had money in the bank and went there to get my money out of the bank. Do you know? Okay, let's say I put a check in the bank. I put a check in the bank. You know, I get paid in check. And so when I went there to get $1 out of the bank, yeah, and I'm saying that Tube Bell. Y'all Tube Bell, what's up with you? How you and Miss Penny doing? Folks, I went to church Sunday, but that Tube Bell, no, he can sing. Boy, I tell you now, when I pat my feet, he said, boy, where your tools at? Where your guitar? I said, I didn't bring it. He said, Pastor, tell him what he got to do. You got to always take your tools with you. Anytime you're a carpenter or mechanic anywhere, a mechanic, I guarantee you, a mechanic gonna have his tools in the car. And he's right. I should have took my guitar with him because the guitar player didn't show up and I would have had the opportunity to play. But I will be going back to church Sunday and I'm going to play. And but I wanted to say this is that I put a pretty nice sum of money in the bank, folks, and When I went there to get the money, the lady wouldn't give me my money. She started checking, seeing where the money coming from and all this. Gonna understand this is PNC Bank. I've been a member of PNC Bank. We just say since about 2012, I've been a member. So since we're actually 2012, 2006, and but maybe further than that. But it's been time, folks, that probably had a large sums of money in that bank. I have. When I bought my Corvette in 2016, I paid cash for it. And what I like about PNC Bank is that anywhere I go, whether it's in North Carolina, whether it's in Texas, and I did the same thing when I went to Florida. I went to PNC Bank and paid for the last Corvette that you see me have. So anyway, this lady wouldn't give me my money. I said, lady, you pissing me off. I want to speak to you. I want to speak to your manager. She said, I am the manager. I said, well, let me speak to the bank manager. She said, I am the bank manager. Do you know that lady made me wait there, folks? And then when I got pissed, you done pissed me off. I said, I want all of my money out of the bank. You know, she wouldn't give it to me. She said, oh, no, what she did is she told me that, I said, you just said you the manager. And so anyway, she sent me to this white guy who was okay at first. She seeked him on me. Folks, needless to say, this woman here, a black person. I'm just telling you, people, it's black people that's the worst problem for other black people. And needless to say, I put a complaint on her while I was sitting in the bank. I'm going to speak up against you. I'm going to mess with you if you mess with me. I'm not going to let you disrespect me. It ain't got nothing to do with the color of my skin. It's got more to do with the money that I spend in your establishment. You're not going to take my money and disrespect me. I'm not going to allow for you to do that. If you're a banker and it's a place where I bank and you do anything out of line, I don't care what color you is, I'm coming at your ass. And I did. Boy, while I was sitting there, that lady made me wait 30 minutes. I had already reported her to they escalated it. And how, because, you know, I got a lot of some money in the bank. So they escalated it. And then how about I go over there? This guy don't give me but $1,000. Oh, wow. Oh, shoot. While he's sitting there talking and running his damn mouth, I call him again and reported him on him. I stayed in that bank a whole hour. And you know, him and the lady started talking. I said, look him. I said, you and her can talk about whatever y'all talking about. Y'all can grab each other behind. When I'm up out of here, I said, now you done got your approval. I said, you need to give me that money. Let me get on up out of here. Folks, I needless to say is that corporation called me, the corporate, probably the vice president, maybe the president, whoever it was too, but I don't care. But I got they took care of it internally. But I kind of knew they did because when I went there, they had new managers and everything. They said, we took care of that internally, Mr. Holt. Okay, ain't gonna tell you about it, but we want to apologize to you. It'll never happen again. But they got fired, folks, and they needed to get fired. I don't give a damn about nobody that make other people try to feel like they saw. How you gonna tell me I can't have my money? And it's my money. How is it? How is it? It ain't nothing illegal about it. How is it that because you just doing that, I'm talking about had me in front of other people, they made the other customer wait. Man, PNC rock and roll. They rolled 2 heads out of there, and I was responsible for that. I want to say this. I want to tell y'all one more thing, and then I'm gonna let KQ read the comments. I needed a dumpster outside my home up in Jefferson County. I needed a dumpster out there to put the debris in. And so I called up a person and they told me, and I'm looking online what the costs are. And so I called a person up and it was a black person and he didn't have nothing but a 15 yard. He said, you need at least a 30 yard. And so how about I did? He gave me somebody else call. It was another black person. I called him up and he told me he charging me $550. Now, folks, I'm going to tell you this. And guess what I told him? I said, you know, normally, I said, $550. I said, well, I got to call it. I said, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I said, I'm going to promote a black business. I said, I got to practice what I preach. I said, if I call somebody else up, folks, and I'm going to tell you that, if I call somebody else up and they give me a price of $500, I'm still going to hire a black guy at $550. How about if they give me a price of $450? Oh, I'm still going to hire the black guy and pay him $100 extra. How about if they're going to do it for $350? I don't give a damn what they charge me. I'm promoting the black business. I hired the black guy. I didn't call anybody else. And I said that because that's what you need to do, because that's what they do. They will do that. And we need to start doing that. Promote each other, not give each other a hard time, not judge people because of the kind of clothes they have on or the color of their skin, but look at that person. Sometimes you need to listen to how that person talk, and then you don't never know who it is that you messing with when you messing with folks. How about just treat everybody like you want to be treated? And we wouldn't ever have the kind of problem that I've been encountering. But KQ, how about I'm fixing to bring you in right now? You ready for those comments, KQ?
Oh yeah, I'm ready for them. Okay.
Okay, well, go ahead and read those comments.
All right. So Fred said, "Good evening, fam."
What up, Fred? That's my
Then
brother.
my
That folk.
then my mama, yes, my mama, my mama Latoya, she said hello.
What up, Mama Law? I'm old, my Mama Law.
And somebody said voting suppression is real. If voting didn't matter, they wouldn't go so hard with laws that's trying to stop people to vote.
And that is so true. And I got a comment on that. And they are trying hard. But one of the things that we touched upon it earlier is that Black people don't vote. And because of that, they're able to change the laws. And understand when you vote, they also pick people to be on the jury. They don't go and they don't look at a census, they look at the voters' roll. And they have all these things that are saying that you can't vote if you've been convicted of this and that. So we need to register to vote. That's right. Any other
And
comments?
and my mama, my mama Toya, she just came in and said, "I love y'all, and we love you too, mama."
Yeah, we love you too. And she's just sweet as she can be.
She is.
Yeah. Any other comments?
No, that's it.
Okay, folks. KQ, what does you want to say to the folks before we wild on up out of here?
Be kind to one another.
Is that it?
Be kind to one another. Vote and yeah, just
Stop judging young people.
yeah, stop judging people. Cause I mean, you can't judge nobody by just why they look. You don't want nobody judging you. Stop judging people.
Yeah. Yeah, people, I want to thank y'all for listening. We're gonna be in next Tuesday. Make sure you tell somebody to tell somebody about our show and about. I want to make sure I touch everything. One thing is, we need great ideas, folks, but from whom? We definitely need that. What will your legacy be? You got to ask yourself, what will our legacy be when we no longer here? What will your legacy be? Can you lay down and have a good death? So it's just, we got to stop being ego-centered, egocentric. We got to stop being subjective and be more objective. We got to rise more up on the mountaintop and rise up above our feelings and out our feelings and things like that. And we got to be true to ourselves. I want to thank you guys for listening in. I want to say thank you. Make sure you tell somebody if it's something that you want us to discuss or something that you want to talk about. Make sure you leave those comments. Make sure you ask us. Go to our webpage, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. The KQ, she gonna finna tell you what all we got and how to do it. So I'm finna bring KQ back in. KQ, what about all that social media stuff?
I'm gonna correct you when you said next Tuesday. It's actually next Thursday at 7 p.m. But
I let you
all
get
our
away with
social
that. Yeah, you're right. My tongue slipped up and it's that afro you got. I ain't seen an afro like that since I had one back in 1974, girl. It was just like that.
mama, you hear your son-in-law. Anyways,
It ain't like
um,
that now.
babe.
Hey, ain't no shame in my game.
I know that. But anyways, we
That's
have.
fun. Don't you love me?
I love you very much. I
Oh,
love
then look at that. See this bald head got that full head of hair.
that don't
Tool
matter.
Belt, what's up with your Tool Belt? Tool Belt, you better be watching this show. Hey, we're
I
gonna be
love
at
you no
Mount
matter what.
Carmel. Mount Carmel having a Christmas program or something Sunday at 2 o'clock. So the Greater Mount Hermon Choir and other choirs will be there. You already know Wayman Newell gonna be there. So I get to see we get to see Wayman Newell
You
again and
already
talk
know we
to him.
gonna be
Wayman
gonna
Newell's
be
always there. He's always supportive and doing what he can in the community. I didn't support him at first, but I support him now. I just gotta say this, KQ, is that I filed for my expungement on those possession, receiving, and sending child pornography, also possession of a handgun by a felon, also the domestic violence. I filed all five of those things in Meridian. With the Meridian Police Department, I've already talked to Judge Markham. He said as soon as this him and our friends, and he can't sign it, that as soon as John Howard come in, it was gonna sign those, and those expungement folks will like wipe it clean, like you do your table, spray it down with bleach and wipe it clean. No matter what you had on it, it's all gone. You don't see it no more. So I gotta say that is that I am very pleased with that. I'm pleased with the Dubose had a lot to do with that. uh, I can say this is that when I call Chief Dubose, no matter when I call him, he always responsive. And I can say, y'all might not like me because I can respect Patrick Gale because I do. He never done anything to me, but I always Mr. Holden, always been respectful. And you got to understand, folks, that those warrants that were signed against me was not signed by Judge Markham. It was not signed by Patrick Gill. It was not signed. Assistant Chief Gill. It wasn't signed by Chief Young. It wasn't signed by Chief Dubose. None of those things. Those folks did not have anything to do with that. Jimmy Smith, when I said that he don't micromanage his department, that doesn't mean that he hadn't put the most qualified person there. That doesn't mean that Percy, he didn't micromanage, he managed. He ran every single department, was done exactly. He made sure he wanted to know what they were doing, how they were doing. If they didn't do it, they had to do exactly what he wanted to do, how he do it. And that's the reason why he's up out of there. And that's one thing I can say about Mayor Smith. But I do agree, if Jimmy run again, we do need we do need to turn the baton over to people such as yourself. It's other people. I can say this about one of my baby mamas, and that's Shanika Connor. She would make a great politician if she ever decided to run for office because she's been through so much. She's a product of Meridian Public School System. She's a product of Meridian, Mississippi, Lauderdale County, and she's finding herself to be pretty successful. She has her own business. She's still striving for the best and to go to the top. And like I ain't no hater, and I know you ain't. I wish that for all of the young folks to get it together like you are. I wish that all of your peers could see you and call you up and see how you're doing and why you're doing and not look at where we been. It doesn't matter where we been, folks. It doesn't matter where you been and what you did yesterday. It's where you are right now and what you're going to do tomorrow.
And I gotta say this, it's off your environment and who you hang around also has to do with how you think and what you do. You have to be around positiveness. You have to be around positive people. You can't be around people that's snacking all day that don't want to work and just want to sit on their butt. I mean, you're gonna do the same thing. So you gotta be around people that's gonna motivate you, people that's working, people
That's
that
right.
want to see you, people that want to see you strive for better, and y'all help each other do that. That's what these younger people don't do because they envy each other. They jealous of each other. They jealous of somebody that's doing better than them. These young people just want to be jealous of each other and want to talk about each other. And they don't want to help each other.
And how about they didn't just started doing that? They learned that from their family. They learned that from their elders. So me and my peers, we got to stop doing that to each other. We got to stop hating each other. We got to stop disliking each other. And we definitely got to stop using our power to hurt. How about if we use our power as fertilizer and water to make the young seeds grow? People, that's what we got to do. And I just want to thank you for those comments, Q. Really do appreciate you. Thank you. And I want to thank you out there in podcast lands for listening. Y'all have a good evening. Cause we out
Okay,
of here.
wait. Our social medias are Reaching Out with Eddie. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. It's Reaching Out with Eddie.
Okay, what about our website? Is it up yet?
No, that's still a work in progress.
All right. Well, thank you. And again, y'all have a good evening. Good night.
Good night.